it's the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And incomplete to open things up.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Tua. Catch is made, it's Harmon. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So now the Bills getting ready for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Brings up 2nd.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 61 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Brooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
And the Bills first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Calais Campbell on the stop.
1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Got an open man. It's Harmon. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll try to run for it with Howard.
Jordan Howard.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. It's Harmon. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. And Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let
grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
2nd and 4. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And 4 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Shifts by him. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up second.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Tua sets up to pass it, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a run with Singletary. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. We're scoreless after 1. He'll look to throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
It's a gain of 6.
First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down. On 1st down, Graham. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
They'll run on 1st down. Singletary. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And out come the Dolphins now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On the delay, here's Breida. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
.42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On 2nd down, it's Graham. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Number 33.
You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the 3rd round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
22 yards there, a first down.
22 yards. First down, Bills.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here we go on second and 12. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Buffalo.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, Singletary. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. A 29-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. Good.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Here's Smith to return it. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Their own 21-yard line.
So here are the Bills to take over. Last week they defeated the Broncos, and they've got the lead here as well as they work with a 1st and 10. The third quarter starts with a run by Singletary. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Rashawn Gary.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down now, it's Graham. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They'll keep it on the ground. Graham. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
A gain of 2 yards.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll run on first down. Singletary. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
No gain on the play.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. This is Breida on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
35 yards that time on the punt.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On first down. Graham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run on first down. Singletary. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills will extend their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Tyler Bass now for the point after. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
5-yard line.
Miami set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return.
At their own 28-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Brings up second.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That's good for a Miami Dolphins.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th.
Dolphins nothing.
Tua now on 1st down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
4-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Tua to throw again. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Tua with a throw complete to Parker. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
10 at the 24-yard line.
Tua now on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st and goal.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need...
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Matt Breida, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Howard on the coverage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
A gain of 26.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Singletary. A gain of 3, second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Graham. About 3 yards there to the 27.
For the running back.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brooks. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. The kick by Bass is good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. That one looks like he'll throw here. That is caught inside the 5. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. left to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defense. Oh, now Breida loses it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Fumble on the play.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Singletary, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Bills, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take